Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Blodger Show. I'm your host, Chris Blodgett, and I want to welcome you to this bonus episode.
Hey guys, welcome to this bonus episode. Hey guys, welcome back. And of course, happy Thanksgiving. Hope everybody had a good holiday. It was actually a little bit of a surprise for me because FedEx was actually telling me that the load I've been doing actually would probably be running to all 6 days this week. And so I tried to find out if I would have today off. And of course they were like, well, we're not sure. Just give us a call tomorrow. So I was asking them yesterday, on Wednesday or whatever. And they're like, just give us a call tomorrow and, we'll be able to tell you then. I'm like, all right, cool. Told the wife, of course, that I wasn't sure if I'd be off, that I'd probably be running, and she was like, piffed. I'm like, yeah, I know. She goes, well, it sucks, but I understand, like, if they're running, you're running. I'm like, well, it's not so much if they're running, it's more if they have loaded trailers that have to move, then we're expected to move them, so basically, gotta do what we gotta do. But, so I got back up, I think I got back to so here's the thing, actually, to give you guys a little bit of an update, because I know I've had the regular episodes with the Keeping It Real segment and the Raw chat, but have not really given you guys an update as to what's going on. So about a week and a half back, I was still doing, within the past 2 weeks, I was doing my what was my normal routine. At that point, I was waking up at 12:30 in the morning, leaving about 1:15, get loaded by 2:30, being on the road between 2 and 3 in the morning. They load me up. I wasn't on anything specific. So one night I might do Wichita, one night I might do Salina. Sometimes I go to like Columbia, Missouri. There are a few times I went to Grand Island or Omaha, Nebraska. And so, for the past 6 months that we've been up here in Missouri, things have been pretty consistent. But, and one of the things I always thought about too was that when I was in Nashville, I very rarely had a 5-day week. Like, I was supposed to have a 5-day week, like Tuesday through Saturday. For the first year and a half that I was there, I was on a load going between Nashville and Farina, Illinois. They'd bring a load up from Atlanta, Georgia. They'd drop this set of doubles in Nashville. I would come in about 5-ish, get the load picked up, take off towards Farina, Illinois, meet a St. Paul, Minnesota crew up there in Farina, and they would bring a load down. I would trade loads with them. They would take my load to Minnesota. I would take their load to Nashville. And Atlanta crew would come back to Nashville with the next one. They would drop their load, pick up my load, take theirs back to Atlanta. So it worked out pretty well for a while. Like, with that one, I did run 5 days every week, and even during peak season, where if you're not on a dedicated, you kind of get screwed because hey, we need you to run this. We need you. Well, at least back there we're doing that. It's like during peak season, every day was something different. It's like one day I might come in at like 10 o'clock at night. The next day I might come in at 7:30. I might come in at 7 and basically be, still be out till like 11 o'clock the next morning. It sucked, you know. And then you're working 6 days, and so like if you're getting home like 12 o'clock, 1 p.m. or something, and then you're back at it by the next night because you basically do a 34-hour break. And so you basically, get back by early afternoon on Sunday, and then be off till Monday night and come back, Monday night and get started again. I did that for I was almost 2 months a peak where like I didn't feel like I really had an actual day off, and then you had to go back in the next day or whatever. You're like, man, I'm tired, because you're not on anything specific, so that just makes things worse. So eventually that Farina load went away. Like I guess that there's a team from Atlanta that decided to take it over, so they would run all the way up to Farina, swap with the St. Paul crew, and then turn around and run it all the way back to Atlanta. And well, for a while, it's like I felt like my boss at the time, Jimmy, was actually kind of screwing me over, as I was supposed to be the one running that load from Nashville. But for whatever reason, for a while, and he gave me kind of excuses that well, that's happening because of this. I was doing other stuff, and I was hearing that, I was being told that, oh, Farina's not running today. It hasn't been running for a couple weeks. But then the Minnesota crew had my number, and they were texting me like, yeah, we've been meeting up with John. I'm like, really? I was like, because I've been getting told that it's not running. And they know we've been there every day. I'm like, A couple times I did try to message my manager and like, hey, so Jimmy, like, what's going on? Like, I'm being told that it's running. He goes, well, John's been having some life issues going on, and so that's why I've been having him on the run and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, but you told me that that's my run. I'm supposed to be doing that run. Yeah, I know, I'm sorry. You'll be back on it, I promise. Okay. So I got back on it for a few weeks, and then all of a sudden I was doing other stuff again. I'm like, what's going on? He goes, oh, yeah, Farina's no more. It's now out of Atlanta. We don't have it here in Nashville anymore. I'm like, okay. Well. Oh, well. So when I came up here, because I was so used to how things work with Jimmy, I didn't know what to expect up here. So for like the past 6 months, I was like, can I come in at Tuesday to Saturday, because that way it'll give me Monday, give me a free day, and during the week I can actually, take care of stuff, go do an appointment if I have to do it. My boss, Rex, up here is like, he's like, yeah, that works, that's totally fine. You're gonna be Tuesday through Saturday, and you're basically an extra driver up here. You're running Coffeyville for a couple nights a week, and then you're doing other stuff. I was like, cool, that works. So for a while, things are pretty consistent. Never really, especially if I dealt with the managers at the Kansas City, Missouri line haul office. Brad and John, shout out if you guys if somehow you guys end up on this podcast, who knows? But I could tell that they really appreciated the fact that I was always there. Never called out, never refused a load. I was always, Tuesday through Saturday was always like, hey, thanks for checking in. They're like, hey, Mr. Blodgett, good to hear from you. Yeah, we're going to have you do an equipment run. Go down and pick up like 2 empties and a dolly. Usually that was, when you're doing equipment, usually from what I understand, that's probably because they don't have anything else, but they want to obviously get you miles. So, hey, we're going to have to send you for equipment. We're going to bobtail you down to Wichita, and you're going to come back with 2 empties and a dolly. All right, cool. Sounds good. It's work, it's miles. So never complained, Even when I got one of the line haul guys, I think Steven, on the phone usually, I was worried not dealing with him because it's like, wasn't sure if he was committed as much as the managers to making sure that I ran. But for the most part, I would deal with him, and he'd be like, "Hey, Mr. Blodgett, how's it going? Yeah, I'm not sure what we have for you. Just hang tight in the front. Don't come through security yet. Just when you get up here, just hang out, and I'll know by 2:15 what we're gonna have you do if there's gonna be anything." All right, cool. So I'd be hanging out up there, scrolling through TikTok or Netflix or Instagram or something in the parking lot in my truck, and by like 2:10, I'd get a call, and he'd be like, "Hey, Mr. Blodgett, so we're gonna have you do such and such. You're gonna go up to Omaha, Nebraska, or we're gonna do this." Or we're like, "Okay." Hell, even shorter runs, going to into Columbia or Columbus, Missouri, or Columbia, Missouri, or something. 140 there, 140 back. I'm like, it's still work. It's not a lot of miles, but at least it's better than zero. So, and so pretty much I came in after, like 2 weeks ago. I came in my Tuesday, my Wednesday night, came in Thursday night at like 1:30, 1:40, and I'm like most of the way to the hub, and not having any kind of like Lotus sign. So of course I call it Steven. I'm like, "Hey, Steven, it's Blodgett, just checking in with you. How's it going?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm not sure what we're gonna have. Just hang tight. Get in touch with you in a minute." I was like, "All right, cool. Yeah, I'll hang out here in the parking lot." And so 2:15 comes and goes, and of course I haven't heard anything. So I'm calling him back, and I'm like, "Hey, this is Steven. How's it going?" I'm like, "Hey, Steven, it's Blodgett, checking in with you again. Is it pretty slow tonight?" He goes, "Yeah, it's looking that way. Yeah, go ahead and head home." I'm like, "Oh, okay." First time for everything. I was like, been up here 6 months. I've run pretty consistent, but I understand that sometimes loads are going to be light, so I'll head home. He goes, "Yes, sir. I'm sorry about that." I'm like, "No worries." So I'm like, well, shit. So figuring I was going to be in at the same time the next night, I kind of take my time, go stop at Denny's on the way home and order some food to go, bring the food home, get home probably by like 3 in the morning, throw on, Netflix, and for like 2 hours. My wife got up, went to go to work. And then after she left, put back on Netflix again. Waited till like probably like 8:30. Messaged my boss. Basically was like, "Hey, so this is what happened last night. Steven basically told me to go home." He goes, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "That's really weird." I'm like, "What's going on?" He calls me. He goes, "Well, because they've been telling me all week they've been really slammed and they need all the help they can get." I'm like, "Well, I was there, so I don't know why they sent me home, because I was up there going, hey." Like, "What do you need?" "Well, we're actually really slow. Go ahead and head home." He's like, "Yeah, that's kind of fucked up. I don't know why they've been telling me they need people." And so I was like, "Yeah, oh well." And he's like, "Well, why don't you come in tonight and tomorrow night to do a St. Louis run out of Lenexa at like 5:30, 6 o'clock. I'm like, 5:30 p.m. tonight? He goes, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "Well, shit." I was like, "It's almost 9 o'clock in the morning. I haven't slept yet." He goes, "Go to sleep now." I'm like, "Well, I can't. I actually had planned to go over to the DMV to take care of something. But I'll definitely catch a nap before coming in." And he goes, "And here's something to think about. Why don't you run tonight and tomorrow night and see what you think? And if you like it and you want to do it, why don't we put you on this run full time?" I was like, sure. I was like, "How long? How many days a week does it run?" He goes, "It's a 6-day run. It's 500 miles round trip. The money's gonna be a lot better, and it's a dedicated, so that rarely ever cancels." And I'm like, "Huh? Okay, sure, yeah. Let's talk Sunday." So ran it for the first couple days, and tired of shit because, of course, I went from going in at like 2 a.m. to going in, being to the Kansas City hub by like 4, so I could bobtail over to Lenexa to pick up my load, run to St. Louis, run back, drop that load in Lenexa, bobtail back to Kansas City, grab the personal vehicle, and head home. A lot of commuting. Like if I park at Lenexa, it would actually be a little bit less commute technically, but I'd be putting on more miles on my truck, and I was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to do that, So so and it's awesome. When you're recording an episode, it's like I love the pause feature because it's like, well, crap, I really have to hit the bathroom really quick, so hit pause, set the phone down, ran down, did what I had to do, came back, hit record, and continue. Apologies. Been having a little itch in my throat, but so I run it for the first 2 days, and I talked to him on Sunday. I'm like, so am I doing, what's the deal? Am I doing this, St. Louis run? And he's like, well, do you want it? Because if you want it, it's yours. And I'm like, sure, yeah, I'll do it. I was thinking about it. I was like, well, it's 6 days a week, only a 34-hour break off. I was like, I really won't have much downtime during the week, and then I'll only have Sunday off. But I was thinking about it's like the pay is gonna be a lot better, and I was like, we got a lot of debt to get rid of. Got working on things to get these passive opportunities fully off and rolling, and by plan on obviously putting them, keep continuing to put them in the show notes on each episode, as well as one update that I wanted to tell you guys about is the website is officially back up. I'm still updating it a little bit because there were a couple of the opportunities that I had posted on the promotions page that I'm no longer doing. Basically it's just like the digital marketing stuff like that. I was like, like you should always, try to do what you can. Try to do things. If you see an opportunity that resonates with you, you should definitely try it. But if it doesn't work for a while, you're doing something, you're not really getting leads, you're not really making sales, and give it a little while, do what you gotta do. But then, just, okay, it's not working. I'm gonna try something else. You know what I always say, guys, we only fail. And, in the upcoming episode for the Keep It Real segment, you guys will hear, I technically, kind of like mention that when I'm on the phone call with Rico and Barry. But I'm like, one of my sayings is, we only fail if we quit, give up, and walk away. So as long as we keep getting back up and we keep trying, then you haven't failed. So, and if you try an opportunity and things don't work out, and you decide to cut it loose, you haven't failed. You just found something that didn't work. It's like, what was it, Thomas Edison or something with the light bulb. He didn't fail 1,000 times. He just found 1,000 different ways it didn't work. And the 1,001st try actually was what worked. So he just kept trying until it worked, and he just found all the ways it didn't work and kept working at it until he found the one way that worked, where he succeeded. So yeah, I mean, it's sad there's so many people out there that'll actually say things like, all things online are scams, and this is a scam, that's a scam. Oh, he's trying to scam you, blah, blah, blah. The funny thing is about that, especially with the things that I'm involved in, hell, I had somebody say BitHarvest was a scam. And I just laughed. I'm like, no, it's not, bro. I was like, I've literally withdrawn from my account. I was like, I earn every day. I literally do not have to recruit. Like, you don't have to build a team. I mean, you can recruit if you want to, and you do earn some rewards for those. But it's not required for you to actually, be successful and do it. You could literally, just buy the shares, buy the units, and be having funds hit your BitHarvest account every single day, and they never expire, they never go away. So that's one of those things, we gotta keep trying, gotta keep going after, especially if you hear about something that makes sense, try it. Like if it's something that doesn't cost a lot to get involved in, I mean, you're looking for a way to make your financial situation different, like make it better. Be open to trying things. And so that link is always on my show notes on each episode. PassiveBitcoin247.com. Check it out. But one of the updates, like I mentioned earlier, is the website for the show is officially back active again. blodgetshow.com. And I'm updating the promotions page where I had different links. Whenever I had, a link for Sophie for anybody that creates a online bank account with Sophie. But the thing I have a problem with Sophie is the links don't stay the same. It's like they change it after a while, so it's like you still have the same promotions, but then the link's different. So I went ahead and went on there and made sure that was updated. I put the BitHarvest, Passive Bitcoin 247 link on there, and there's at least one. Well, right now there's at least one other opportunity I plan to put the link on there, and there's something else I got to put on there as well. But for now, at least I got a couple current ones. I think I believe I have Rico's podcast link on there, so feel free to check his podcast out. And anybody that wants to support the show can click that support link under the promotions tab on the Blodget Show website, or you can go to blodgetshow.com/support. Anything and everything is very much appreciated. Thank you so much in advance. And I wanted to come on here and do this bonus episode mainly because I just recently got that site back up and making some plans, making some big moves. And probably going to have another link on the promotions page that'll show a video that we're going to do at some point, because one of my friends, Barry, who's a part of the Keeping It Real segment, he's going to be doing a book and an album at some point. I think he said like early 2026. So there, at some point I was like, hey, why don't we do a video, me and Rico, we'll do a Zoom call, record it, and then we'll post that video on the website. And he goes, that sounds great. So and one other link I got to put on there is Barry's YouTube, because he and Rico are both music producers, like content creators. They create their own beats, they write their own music, so gonna have their stuff linked on the blodgetshow.com website so you guys can check it out. But I'm probably gonna have other support links as well, so that way I can also support them in whatever ways they need. Might even have a support link for our raw chat episodes. If you haven't listened to those yet, you really should. Basically, the raw chat episodes are me and my friend Dave Goldberg and a bunch of other drivers out there. That I think we have one that's like a mail truck driver. I think there's one that's I think he hauls cement. David Goldberg, he hauls for Food Liner, so he hauls like a flour and whatnot. Janelle, I think she hauls minerals from like quarries and stuff. Not sure what John hauls. There's a couple drivers that haven't really talked about specifics as far as what they're as far as tractor trailer, what they're hauling. So I'm not entirely sure, but every raw chat conversation is different, and there's a lot that gets talked about. So anybody that wants to ask questions about that segment, there's an email address that's managed by my co-host David Goldberg. It's rawchatpod@gmail.com. Feel free to send us a shout, and we look forward to talking to you every week. I might create another email and have it be for the Keeping It Real segment with me, Rico, and Barry. And if there's some topic you guys want us to talk about, if you want to ask some questions that I can, basically bring up to the two of them when we're on a call, and that way we can answer it live for you. But for any general questions for the Blodgett Show website or Blodgett Show podcast, send an email to blodgettshowpodcast@gmail.com. But as I mentioned earlier, anybody wants to support, go to blodgettshow.com/support. There's either one-time options as well as monthly options. But on that note, because I don't actually, when I started to do this recording, I was like, well, when I do a bonus episode to kind of update people a little bit on what's going on and about the website and stuff like that, but I didn't want to be too long, so I'm going to leave you with that. And I'm going to go ahead and obviously get this episode posted immediately, but there's already recordings for this next week, so come back on Tuesday and tune in for both the Keeping It Real segment with the Real Talk Tuesday under the Real Talk Tuesday umbrella, and then the Raw Chat segments. Both will be posted Tuesday, and just excited to have more. I'm always excited when I get more recordings, and I'm able to, when I know like, hey, I'm gonna be able to get this next week actually like posted because I have content. Sometimes I might not have heard from, might not have gotten on a call with David Goldberg for like 2 weeks or whatever, and sometimes it might be hard to get Barry and Rico on the phone. So then I'm like, so should I do a regular Real Talk Tuesday segment with, just picking a topic and talking about it? I do plan at some point to be able to get the Storytime Friday episodes going again. So there's plans. Oh, and I'm making plans for how to start getting things published as far as books go. So like getting those volumes for the Storytime Friday published and getting stuff written so we can, resume those Storytime Friday episodes. A lot of stuff in the works. Just it's a matter of free time, because during my 6-day week, like I really don't have a whole lot of time to myself at all. Like I don't have too much time to like plan stuff. Thankfully today I was supposed to go in, and of course I called at like 12. I got home at 6:30, got to bed at 7. My wife was getting up at 8 to get the kids up so they could head over to her mom's. I got up at 12, called FedEx to talk to him, to check in with him, thinking that I'm probably going to, my thought was, hey, I'm going to call them. If they say, yeah, we're running today, I'll be all right, cool. Lay back down for a couple hours, get up at like 3, get ready to go in. But I called at 12, and they're like, yeah, we got nothing. Go ahead and enjoy your day. Have fun with your family, and we'll pick this back up tomorrow. I said, oh, cool, all right. Copy that, not going to complain. So texted the wife, said, well, they said there's no trailers that need to be run right now, so we're going to pick it back up tomorrow, so I guess I'm free. She goes, all right, cool, so you're coming over here? I'm like, yep. I was like, I just got to stop at Quick Trip and get some gas and, a few things. And she's like, can you bring, like, milk and this and that, because I'm making ranch over here, and, I got the turkeys almost done, and I got this and that, whatever. I'm like, all right, cool, I'll be over there shortly. Her mom lives on, like, the opposite end of Kansas City, like the west side. So, I came, did what I had to do and made my way over there and had some nice conversation with my mother-in-law and the kiddos, of course. It's funny because after we ate, I was, slowly, methodically, like, all right, putting this in a container and putting that in a container, and, cleaning these, putting stuff in the dishwasher and stuff. And my mother-in-law kept coming in and being like, hey, why don't you get the kids out here? Because it doesn't make sense for you to be out here by yourself. I'm like, it's fine. I don't mind. I was like, I'm not quick. I'm not moving very fast at it, but, it's fine. No big deal. Are you sure? I was like, yes, I'm fine. I was like, I'm off. I'm not working today, so like this is cool. I'm okay with this. So got things picked up and cleaned up and watched the Chiefs sadly lose to the Cowboys. And then came back home and we watched one episode of the new season of Stranger Things. So looking forward to continue with that. But then the wife went to go to bed. My oldest is downstairs. My grandson's in bed. Believe my youngest is asleep. But wanted to pop on here. I figured, well, tonight I'm off. I'm gonna, make the most of the time off and actually just get these episodes updated and hopefully scheduled to post. So that way, when I'm off at Sunday, I'm not having to worry about it. I'll just be ready to go. So then all I'll have to do is get recordings done this next week. But all in all, just doing what I gotta do. And we gotta be positive about it too. Like we can't just, it's like what I told you about my friend D way back, where she was like, "This sucks, that sucks, everything sucks, nothing's ever gonna get better." And it's like you're like, our words have so much power. Like even if things aren't going your way, you gotta just believe that things are gonna happen. Like, hey, I'm moving towards this. I'm gonna take care of it. That's another thing too, is that we can't say, I can't do this. I have no idea how I'm gonna do this. I don't know how to do this. Better thing for us to say is, I'm gonna figure it out. Because then, even though you might not know how to do it right now, but you're saying, I'm gonna figure it out, then at some point you're gonna figure something out with it. Like you're gonna get an idea that's gonna materialize in your brain. You're gonna all of a sudden just have a path that's just gonna illuminate for you. And you'll be like, oh wow, okay, I know what to do. So on that note, guys, you know what I always say: keep pushing forward, keep believing, believe you can, believe you will, and you're already halfway there. And then you just have to go out there and do it. And once again, to contact us, if it's the raw chat segment, go to send an email to rawchatpod@gmail.com. If it's for the general Blodgett Show podcast, if you want to message me directly, do Blodgett Show podcast@gmail.com. I don't know if I said, okay, it's raw chat, it's rawchatpod@gmail.com. Blodgett Show podcast at gmail.com is the main podcast email. And then anybody who wants to support the show, go to blodgettshow.com/support. Much appreciated. Anything that gets donated will go towards helping with the, getting like merch out there, getting the books published, getting the volumes published, just stuff like that. Like every little bit helps. But otherwise, tell your friends, because, hey, more listeners is another way to support the show. So on that note, you guys have an amazing rest of your night. I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving Day. If you don't really, not really a big fan of the holiday, hopefully at least you had some good food. Hey, good food and time with family. That's what it's all about, really. It's like, what are we thankful for? We actually went around the table when we were at dinner at my mother-in-law's house, basically like, all right, so what are you thankful for? And of course I'm like, well, I'm thankful for my family, thankful that even though my schedule sucks, I'm home every day. I'm grateful I have that one day off. I'm grateful that this load, the miles are so much better, so I'm actually, the paycheck is a lot, but great. It's very much increased, and grateful for being able to see my in-laws. Grateful that we're closer to my family by at least 400 miles compared to 800 miles from Nashville. And just grateful that like the position I'm in right now will make a lot of other stuff possible. And by making those things happen, at some point I won't have to work as hard as I do. I'll literally be able to make that money, pay all the bills, take care of, get us into our permanent house where we actually buy a house, and I'll still be able to be home full time because I'll have set us up financially. So grateful for that. So great things in store for the future. Big things are happening. Big things are coming. So feel free to send me an email at blodgettshowpodcast@gmail.com and let me know what you're grateful for. Like, what good things are in your life? Are things going the way that you want? Are you, you know, making progress towards those ends? Or, like, you know. But on that note, I'll let you go with that. So, you guys have a great rest of your week. And I will talk to you guys again on the next Keeping It Real segment on Real Talk Tuesday. And then follow that with the Raw Chat segments with my buddy Dave and all our trucker friends. You guys have a good one, and we'll talk to you then.